Let me try that again. Welcome back. eSIM Studios podcast live stream, episode number 62. Thank you for joining us today. Holy crap, my allergies are kicking my ass today. If I'm going to be blinking a lot, do apologize. Pollen, I believe, is at an all-time high here. Oak pollen. So it feels like it's so irritating. It feels like something is in my eye, but it's not. It's just the allergies. So the Eric, I can tell they're kind of watery, but it is what it is, right? We push on. Eclipse day. Now, I didn't get excited. No, where I'm sitting right now, we are in the direct path of the full 100% coverage. And the line of sight, that little strip where they show on those maps where it's going to go, we are in the direct path of full 100% coverage. I did not get excited for it. Honestly, I totally forgot it was today. I was in here doing some work, stuff like that online, and I got a rain notification earlier today. So I knew it was probably going to rain or something like that, and then tomorrow's supposed to rain too. So right around like 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I noticed it getting dark outside, and I was like, oh shit. And I looked down, and I had my little rain alert icon on my phone, so I was like, damn, it's about to rain. And then continued on with my work. And then just a little while ago, I realized, it was the eclipse. It was the eclipse that made it dark outside. Now, it's overblown, right? When you see on the media, you're like, oh my God, the eclipse, it's just some monumental, earth-shattering like experience you have to look at and experience. No. The reason why I did not record it this time, if you go back, we had another full eclipse about 6 months ago. I recorded it on my Pixel 8 Pro. It was about 4 months ago. I recorded the whole thing on my Pixel 8 Pro. I have a video. I'll probably link it when this is over in the description box so you can go watch it. I recorded the whole thing. I was very excited for it. Super pumped up. Got this brand new Pixel in the mail, and literally a few days before the eclipse happened. So I recorded the whole thing. It was alright. It was cool, but it wasn't like what they say on TV, where it gets just total pitch black darkness. It's like nighttime in the middle of the day. No, it looks like it was going to rain. A little dark, but nothing like they said it was in the news, right? So this time around, I was like, I'm not even going to waste my time. I already recorded one. So yeah, it is what it is, right? It's all right, but it's not a big deal to me. I surely got pumped up for that first one about 4 months ago. And then for this one, I was like, I've already seen one. I know what to expect. And thought it was cloud coverage, so not a big deal. But yeah, I'll link that in the description box. The video. Now, yes, I protected my phone. You know those glasses you put over your face when you look at the moon or when you look at the eclipse? It was actually a process, and I documented the whole thing. Go back and watch that video. I actually cut out and put a special setup on the back of my Pixel. That's where I wouldn't damage the cameras, because I shot the eclipse in... What mode was it in? It was the long... Or it records stuff, but very slow motion. So when you go back and play it, you can see it moving along. What was it in? We were in video. Was it in slow motion or pan? Time lapse. That's what it was. Time lapse. I recorded the last full eclipse 4 months ago in time lapse. Pretty cool, right? It's a lot cooler looking at it from what I recorded on here than your naked eye. So if you want to go check that video, I'll link it down there once we're done. But yes, full eclipse today, and I had just forgotten, so no big deal. No big deal. We move on. Plus, I didn't want to go outside either. My allergies. I'm not looking forward to leaving the house. I know it has to be done, but I'm struggling over here. But got some good news today. Check this out. So we have Samsung news, and we have Google news. I'm getting a story together for iPhone 16 news. What we can look forward to with the iPhone 16 coming up. Tons of leaks. Not like it used to be, right? We didn't, leading up to the iPhone 10, 11, 12, 13. There just wasn't much. I mean, everything was kept tight, under wraps, very, very, very tight. And it seems like last year for the 15, we got a couple of leaks, which kind of led us to believe what we were going to expect. And now for this iPhone 16, we're getting a ton of leaks. So we already know what features it's going to have. We already know what the design is going to look like. We already know what buttons they're going to change on it, all that good stuff. So I'm going to put a iPhone 16, what we can expect, so to speak, quote unquote, section or update on our eSIM Studios YouTube channel. So those iPhone users out there can basically, and I'm going to update it. So with every new leak, we will update it just to get everybody caught up with all the news on the iPhone 16 series. So as we discussed yesterday, not an iPhone user, but I do have some viewers and subscribers that are. So hey, if you are, more power to you. We'll have that news for you as well. Let's see. We have application updates. We have website updates. Let me show you the logo. Let me see if I can pull this up that we got for the app. So here's one. The unlocker. You're not gonna let me show it. Oh my god. What the hell's going on? Can I show my screen? Entire screen. There you go. The unlocker. The unlocker.tech. Yes, that's going to be one of them. That's our first logo. Now, let me show you our other one. And then here's our news logo. Now it's going to be black. It'll look like this. That's for our news website. The techflow.news. We also have flashtech.news. So everything's linked in the description box below. Just and all that's a work in progress, right? So still building that out, but going to be very cool. Going to look very nice. So let's get into the news here. I know, trying to keep this show flowing. I know we're steadily gaining more listeners on our audio podcast, and it was just made official about a couple weeks ago. We have quote unquote an official podcast. Many people say they have a podcast, but has it been certified? Has your podcast been certified? Damn, I'm a complete record today. What is the certification? It is, I got it right here, watch. It is certified by the certified podcast standards. Certified podcast standards. Yes, you can actually apply, and they check your podcast out, make sure everything looks legit, make sure all your contact information was legit. You have to verify a bunch of stuff, and they actually go check out your podcast. And if you pass, you get certified. So our eSIM Studios podcast is on a list of their certified podcasts. And now, what makes a certified podcast and a non-certified podcast? As I mentioned, they need to verify and make sure you're real, obviously. But they base their certification standards on quality. Quality audio, quality video, and they basically make sure you're just not some bozo on here, want to make sure you're real. So and have good audio and good quality podcast. So we pass that with flying colors. So if you want to take us on the go, you can not only watch us on YouTube, you can catch us on any audio podcast platform. So Spotify, we're on Spotify. We're on podcasts, application podcasts. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Music, or excuse me, YouTube Music. Anywhere you can get a podcast, search eSIM Studios and we will pop up. Now, the cool thing about Spotify is that they actually show you the video. You have an option. You can either watch it like you're watching it on YouTube, or you can just select the audio version only and take it with you while you're cutting the grass or running errands around the town or something. So take us with you wherever you go. Okay. Let me share the screen here and we'll get into the news, right? This is our website, eSIMstudios.com. And you can go there for all your technology news, information, all that good stuff. What's going on, Ashton? Appreciate you joining us, man. Everybody, I'm going to link with all my YouTube friends, all my YouTube buddies, whenever they show up. I always link their show in the description notes. So I encourage everybody to check out Ashton's channel. Very entertaining. I tune in every day, so I'm a daily watcher. I love his show, so definitely check in. I'll link his YouTube channel in the description box below for everybody. So thank you again, brother. I appreciate it. Let me allergy before I start rolling into the news. Let me clear my throat. My allergies are killing me. As you can tell, I'm blinking a lot. So just give me 1 second, because this is gonna bother me if I don't clear my throat and stuff. Hang on. Okay, we are back. Apologize about that. So we have 3 big news stories, at least today. There were more, but these are the 3 main that interest me, right? This is my podcast, so... but it will involve, if anybody uses Android, which majority of our users out there are Android users, and the majority of those Android users are Pixel users. We are officially hashtag Team Pixel and superfan group members of Google's hashtag Team Pixel. So we are official members, and we always stay up to date with the latest and greatest Pixel news. Now, this not only involves Pixels, if you have a Pixel, but if you have a Samsung, if you have a OnePlus, if you have a Motorola, any Android device worldwide, big news today. Because if you can look here on the top right, Google's new Find My Device app and network is live. So if you're wondering, yes, this application was available even before today, but the foundation, how it's structured, how it uses its network is totally brand new. Totally brand new. They've been working on this for about a year, probably a little over a year. I did report on this news maybe 6 months ago, and just sporadically kind of updated people, but today is the day. If you go to the App Store, go to your App Store or the Play Store, and you should have a update available, because I believe every Android device comes with this on there. I believe it's a pre-install, one of the few pre-installed applications. Find My Device. So it's new and improved. It's similar for iPhone users. It's similar to Find My iPhone, right? FMI. If you lose your device, if your device gets stolen, Android now is on the same level playing field as iPhone. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Well, the technology behind the scenes, how it works. What's going on, Victor? Appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you very much for showing up. Find My Device. So with Apple's Find My Device, how it works is it actually uses, and actually there's a piece of information that I want to take back, right? I just thought of it. So how this works is with Find My iPhone, they use, and when I say it's similar to Apple's iPhone, this is how. Because Apple uses not only GPS coordinates to locate your device if you don't know where it is or if it gets stolen, but Apple uses all other Apple products surrounding in your immediate vicinity, in your area, right? So if I go to the grocery store down, or the UPS store down the street, and I forget it there, let's say I come home, but my phone is still at the UPS store. So how it works, if I had an iPhone, is it would not only use GPS coordinates, but it would ping, it would use other iPhones in the area to pinpoint where my lost iPhone was, right? So Google's in the past, before today, could only use GPS. They could not use other Android devices to ping your device, to help locate your device. Today is when they flipped the switch, and that is now active. So now Android devices can not only be found by GPS coordinates, right? They can also be found by other Android devices in that area, right around your device. Now, Chromebooks will also help ping it. Anything that runs Android OS will help locate your device. Now, another cool feature is that this will work if your device is off. Yes, it'll work if your device is powered off. Before today, that was not possible. Now, the one little drawback that I did want to, or statement that I did want to take back, is that specific feature where you can find your device when it's powered off is only going to be available on newer flagship devices. So the Pixels, if you have a flagship phone, maybe a year or two old as of up to today, it will work, because how that Find My Device feature works, where they ping it off of other devices, is through a ultra low powered Bluetooth chip inside your device. Now, those ultra low powered Bluetooth chips inside these devices were not available as of probably, I think, a year or two ago, and they only put them in the flagship devices. Now, that means if you have a 3-year-old Motorola phone, it will not work, right? I mean, the Find My Device app will work. It'll still locate it, but while it's powered off, it will not work. You're going to need a Pixel 8 series, 7 series. You're going to need a Samsung S24, S23, possibly S22 model. I know my Nothing phones have the ultra low powered Bluetooth chip in them, but these are relatively new. S24s have them. So any flagship Android device, probably, now this is not flagship, but it does have it in there. So basically any newer Android phone, as of, like I said, probably up to like 2 years, you should have this feature. Very cool. So how it works is, it actually is so low powered, it literally sips on your battery's energy. So how the batteries are set up to power this ultra low powered Bluetooth chip is your phone will actually allocate maybe 1, 2, 3% of the battery to that chip specifically. Even if the device is powered off, that Bluetooth chip will have some sort of energy source to still operate on. So that Bluetooth chip will remain on inside your phone. Now, it's not the regular Bluetooth chip that you listen to audio on. It's specifically designed for locating the device for this feature. So that's why it's only going to be included in the newer devices, right? Very, very cool feature. Now we're on the same level playing field as iPhone when it comes to their Find My Device feature. Let me see here. It looks the new application. Let's see. I think I updated this. You know what? Here we go. Find my device. Boom, right here. So it's going to look like this on your phone, right? It's this one. Now, this one needs to be updated, but look. Look underneath right above the blue icon in the very bottom of the screen. You see where that is, where it says phone? Look just slightly up. It says, Find My Device can now help you locate your devices even if they're offline, meaning if they're off, right? And that's through the ultra low powered Bluetooth chip that I was describing. So I'm going to go ahead and update this one. I updated my other ones. But since I'm testing this one out, I need to certainly update that. But I'm going to put a individual video out probably tomorrow describing basically the same thing I just said, but I'm actually going to test it, right? I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to take it to the other side of the house, turn it off, and with one of my many other phones, go to the other side of the house and see if it'll still pick it up. Basically, just test it out and make sure and show everybody how it works and what it looks like. So, very, very cool. So that made big news today. That went live. I'll link the along with Ashton's YouTube channel in the video description. I will link the Find My Device application Play Store link. So if you have an Android device, you don't have to go searching through your Play Store to find it. You can just hit the description box below our video and simply touch the link and it'll take you right to it. Okay, so another big news. We are big time Pixel users and supporters here, and the Pixel 8a was just leaked today. Yes, Pixel's mid-range phone, the A series, which ironically is named, well, I guess this would be named after the 8a because this is the 2a. Now, this is not Pixel, it's a nothing phone, but this will directly compete with the device you're looking at on the screen. The Pixel 8a. Cannot wait to get this one, or the 8a. Now, it does show a few things that we were still kind of wondering about, right? What is the finish? What is it really kind of gonna look like when it's launched, right? Because we knew the size, the dimensions were already leaked. We knew what the features it was going to have. We knew what cameras it was going to have. We just didn't really get an official look, right, of what it was going to look like. And now we have it. So this one's going to come with a matte back. So a felt back, kind of not like sandpaper, but certainly not glossy and super smooth like the back of its bigger brother, the Pixel 8 Pro. Has a very nice satin smooth finish on the back. The mid-range phone 8a that you see on the screen looks like it's going to be sort of a rough felt plastic. This is glass. The 8a is plastic. Now, why did they make that change? If you're not familiar with the A series, it's a watered-down version, a cheaper version of their flagship device. Now, obviously, if you're a company and you manufacture a device that is not flagship, that's not premium, you got to cut costs somewhere, right? Because you still got to make a profit, right? So what they do is on this A series, Google does, make it enticing to buy because you still get flagship level cameras, sensors, except where they do cut corners. And the usability, right? You still get the Pixel software, Android software, but where they cut corners is they're going to put a plastic back on it. In the screen, it's not going to be as good. Now, they've made improvements over the years with the screen, but it's not as good. This screen here is one of the best ones I've ever seen on its bigger brother, the 8 Pro. But look at these bezels. When I say bezels, look how thick. You see where the screen is, right? look at the very bottom of the screen. You see that black strip that goes all the way around it? Yeah, that's the first sign that it's not premium, because all flagship premium devices have very, very, very thin borders around the screen. No big deal. I know it doesn't bother most people, but I'm just showing you what I see with these pictures. You will get the, what are they putting in there? The Tensor G3, I believe. So the same processor that comes with this one. Pretty powerful. Not the highest performing CPU. It's not going to beat the S24 Samsung on any testing. However, it's specifically fine-tuned for AI, for machine learning. It learns you, the user. That's what I love about these. Now, just because it's not the most high-performing CPU doesn't mean it's slow or jittery or sluggish by any means, because this thing is fast as hell. But it's fine-tuned. So they get a lot of shit for their CPUs not being as fast as all the others. But what people don't understand is Google's not in the business. Google's not in the business for making the highest performing CPU. They want to fine tune it for you, the user. And my experience with Pixel has been great. Obviously, I've had all of them, and I'm a big supporter of them. Stock Android, well, I guess technically it's not stock Android, but it's about as easy, smooth of an experience as you can get. I always tell iPhone people when they always ask me, I want to try Android, what phone should I get? I always say Pixel. Just get a Pixel. It's the smoothest transition anybody can have, moving from iPhone to an Android. Because I don't even really suggest Samsung, because they're just the transition might be too much, right? For iPhone users, there are so many settings in the Samsung devices. I even get lost in these settings of my Samsung. Now, another phone that I'm going to suggest are these two phones. Oops, the Nothing phones. Same Pixel-like experience. This one looks like an iPhone, but it's not, right? So these are two other good alternative devices if you're moving from an iPhone to an Android. This one's only $350. Badass phone. Been using it. Absolutely love it. I'm in the process of making my review of this, so be on the lookout for that. Nothing Phone 2A. But let's see, what else did we get here? Let's see. We went over the design, the matte finish, the bezels, the screen. It will have a 120 hertz display. We broke that news probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. 120 hertz refresh rate. Now, the A series for Pixel, their watered down version, has always had the shittier screen, the shittier experience. They just bumped up to 90 hertz, I think. On the 7A? Yeah, because the 6A didn't have 120 hertz. Or excuse me, 90. It had 60. That was consumers' one big gripe, is how the refresh rate was not up to standard with all other devices. They need to look. This is going to be a competitor. This 2A, Nothing Phone 2A, is going to be a competitor of this Pixel 8A. This has got all the bells and whistles. This has 120 hertz refresh rate. It's got full HD plus display. This has got it all. So Google better stack the specs inside this new 8A, or else they're going to get a bunch of criticism for people having much better options. Because I think this Pixel 8A, the price is going to increase as well, going up from $450 to $499. So basically from $450 to $500. So from a consumer's standpoint, why would I buy a new Pixel 8A for $500 when I can get this phone for $350, and it does everything and more than that Pixel 8A? So very, very tough, stiff competition for Pixel, but that's the name of the game. They do have the name brand recognition. They will have phenomenal cameras, but everything else, this Nothing Phone 2A will beat it. I promise you that. We'll see in the processor. And when we get one in, we will do the benchmark testing, 8A versus 2A, and see where they stack up. But should have 8 gigs of RAM. Oh, also forgot. This year, as the first, they're going to bump up the storage to 256. The Pixel A series, their watered down version, always had just 128 gigs of storage. Nowadays, that's way too little. I'll probably blow through that in a few months, right? Storage. So this is their first year that they will be offering 256 gigs of storage on that device. So very excited about that. Long time coming. So I will link the this article in the description box below as well. Matter of fact, let me check and see if I thought I had put some in there right now. Hang on. I do not have it in there. I will update the description here once I get done and have all the channel. I'll have Ashton's channel link down there for everybody to check out, and I will link these articles. So if there's something that you wanted just a little more info on, I got a lot of other more additional articles, stories, and all sorts of stuff on there. So if you see something that I'm kind of scrolling over or scrolling by, please go check it out. I'll link it in the description here shortly. So let's see here. Let's go. Let me close this out. Speaking of Samsung, whew, this S24 saved their ass. Saved their ass. They were struggling for a long time in their mobile division, and profits, revenue, just nosediving. You know what? I don't want to overspeak or say something that's not true. Let's do this. They turned it around. So it appears Q1 2024, massive revenue, massive profits this year. Huge turnaround. But just to tell you how big of a turnaround, let me show you. Samsung. I guess I could put by the years, right? So that wouldn't give us, let's see. Tablet shipments. That's a cool website to give you all the information on the let's see, I don't want tablet, I want phone. God damn, that's expensive as fuck. Well, they do have good graphs. I wonder if they give me some free stuff. Let's see. Or some free info. I'm definitely not signing up for $200. Damn it. It blocked my ass. Anyways, let me see if I can go roll back. So look at this article. This was at the beginning of this year, which would be reporting on last year, 2023. So Samsung posted last year in 2023 weakest earnings in over a decade. So, and this was a continual decline in profits, dating back probably 4 or 5 years ago. Right, I think right as the pandemic hit, is when everybody, phone sales across the board, across the globe, went down. And this article directly explains that. So what's going on, Bama fan? Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it. We're on the tail end of the episode, but just getting into some Samsung news, because it looks like that they are on pace to hit record profits in revenue. Actually, I put some statistics here that I looked up earlier when I was writing this article. The company saw this time last year in that Wall Street Journal article that we're on right here. This time last year, back in 2023, Samsung saw about a 95% decline, in year-over-year earnings. Huge, just drop-offs. Now, what that could be in response to is, for one thing, the pandemic, but there's a number of things that go into play. It's phone sales. Now, this is their overall company. Now, obviously, as you know, Samsung, they make washers and dryers, refrigerators, all sorts, TVs, obviously, monitors. I got a couple of them in here. Phones, tablets, computers, electronics, consumer electronics. But it goes to tell you just how much they depend and lean on their mobile division. Not necessarily, it won't make or break the company, but it sure does come into play as far as when revenue is concerned, because on the global scale, the amount of phones that they sell, massive amount. In just a little decline here, a little decline there, can have big effects on not just their overall revenue coming in, but some of their other parts, and just consumer electronics, or customers' spending in consumer electronics are down, right, overall. But it looks like this year they did hit record sales of their new S24 series. The pandemic I know it's kind of over, but it's been over. But again, when it first hit, people were not upgrading their phones. People were holding on to their devices, not upgrading, because we didn't know where this was going to go, right? Was it Armageddon? Was it the end of the world? Well, if it is, why am I going to go out and get another $1,000 phone, right? People were just hanging on to their phones, just simply not upgrading. And that goes for Samsung, that goes for iPhone, Pixel. Matter of fact, one little stat that I like to hang on to is all last year, the only phone out of every phone in the world, every country in the world, the only phone to gain market share in global sales was the Pixel. It rose by 4.5%. And that's, I honestly, I don't know. I don't have the answer for you. I do know they make a really good product, and the brand has been growing steadily. So they just basically continued on. Now, look, Google's not producing. Samsung produces hundreds, I think 144 million phones a year. Apple's right up there. Google produces maybe 5, 6, 7 million phones a year. So that's how, if they make just a slight increase, it's a huge jump in the numbers. But in real world, it comes out to maybe another extra million phones gained or something like that, right? Let's see. Did you get a software update to update the software in the Galaxy Store? Yeah, I get them every now and then. Just sporadically, it'll have you update the Galaxy Store. Recently, I think, and maybe in the last week or so, yeah. Some of these updates in the Galaxy Store are very suspicious. Now, are you talking about applications that you can download and install from the Galaxy App Store? Because if that's the case, I don't download anything from there. Now, not because they're suspicious or I might think they're malicious or have a virus. I just stick to the Play Store. I think the only thing that I download from the Galaxy App Store is Good Lock, right? Where you can customize your phone. Other than that, I don't download anything from there. It's just a personal preference. Now, they do go through, matter of fact, I think I'm going to submit my app to the Samsung App Store because I was going through that last week. Developers that upload their application to the Galaxy App Store have to go through the same process as me uploading my app to the Google Play Store. meaning Samsung doesn't just let anybody upload apps to the App Store. You actually have to upload your zip file with the application in it, and they thoroughly examine your files inside the application, what it is, what it looks like, what it's about. Now, that's not to say that malicious apps in the past have not gotten through, right? I mean, we know that to be fact, but I think in recent memory, recent times, I think they've really been trying to buckle down as far as trying their absolute hardest not to let any malicious apps or apps that might contain a virus onto the Google Play Store or Samsung App Store, right? It's just not a good look. So they have to stay on top of that. Well, let's see. It's an update on the app to update the software. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. Because you don't update your app. You don't update your software through the Samsung App Store, unless it's for, like, when you upload, like check this out. So when you like with this app, the Samsung app, right there in the middle. Nope, not there, right there in the middle. You update this app inside this app, but when it comes to updating the overall software inside this phone, you do that in the settings app. But let me see. You said it's called. Look in the Galaxy Store in the update section. You'll see it. Damn, my eyes are bothering me like crazy. Let me put some eye drops in. Let me look for this real quick. All right, just put some eye drops in. So I'm at the home screen of the App Store. So let me go to menu and then up. Oh, I'm right there already. And then updates. It says I have 0 updates available. Let me search. You said it's named. The app is called Software Update. Sorry. So let's go see if I can find it. Software update. Wish I could share my. Can I share my screen? On StreamYard through my phone. Shit, I don't know. I'll have to look into that for next time. But when I searched in the Samsung App Store, I searched for a software update, and these are the ones that came up. Update Galaxy Store first. Yeah, mine's updated. Mine's updated to the newest version. I just updated it maybe a few days ago. But it looks like just general. Look, is it already installed, or is it installed already, or is it a not installed application? Because if it's installed, you just simply uninstall it, because you don't update your phone, your software through the Samsung App Store, if that makes sense. Now you can update the Samsung App Store inside the Samsung App Store, but anything else, well, minus the application updates, but anything software related, that's done in the settings app, right? It's installed already. Uninstall it. See what, I mean, it's not gonna, let me see if I can find anything else. No, are you talking about this? That's not what it is, right? No, that's the Galaxy Store application itself. But anything else, I would probably uninstall it, honestly. I don't really mess with the Samsung App Store. Again, I just download the Good Lock for customization, and that's it. That's not it? Okay. I would uninstall it. I think you're right. And then after you uninstall it, restart your phone. Just so it'll clear the cache and all that stuff that's left in the background. And should be fine. Let's see here. So, wrapping this up for Samsung, it says estimates operating profit has increased $4.9 billion US dollars. It says, for comparison, the phone maker reported a profit of $478 million in the first quarter of 2023. Huge turnaround. Again, this first quarter profits, operating profits, $4.9 billion, almost $5 billion. This time last year, they only reported $478 million. So as you can tell, a ginormous turnaround. Which is sparked by obviously sales, right? So having record sales for your S24 series definitely helps. Now, did they see sales increases in other areas, other departments? Sure. Now, I don't have these specific numbers. I guess I could find them. But that includes washer and dryers, refrigerators, TVs, monitors, all that crap. It says revenue for their mobile division reportedly grew by 22%, in operating profit up 3% year over year. So it says the issue for the decline in the past, for the decline in operating profits, was directly linked to the company's CPU department, its chip department, processor department. They manufacture, I forgot to mention, they manufacture memory, they manufacture CPUs. Look, Google's processor is Samsung made. So they made the processor in this tensor chip that this Pixel uses. A perfect example, right? So that's where a large majority of their operating loss came from. So much, in fact, it totaled, the losses from their CPU division totaled a $3.4 billion loss last year. It was a lingering effect from the pandemic, as we mentioned earlier, and it forced the company to basically stockpile chips that they had already produced, manufactured, and then they would just sit on the shelf because no orders were coming. Well, I shouldn't say no orders were coming in. Orders were coming in, but not like a normal operating procedures or standards or business has gone in the past. That pandemic really screwed stuff up. Now, the CPU, the technology world, it's basically a long time coming. Now, what do I mean by that is that these phones are planned way in advance. So this Pixel 8 Pro that I'm holding in my hand, Google probably started rendering and starting making this device probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it was just released 4 months ago. So it gives kind of an idea of how long these things take from an idea to actually in customers' hands. It takes years. And part of that is the parts, the hardware, what you're going to put inside here. And once they finally make a decision, they actually place an order with Samsung. As I mentioned, the Samsung CPU is in here. You got to place the order, right? And they do that a year or two, about a year and a half in advance. So Samsung will manufacture a bunch of Tensor G3 chips that meet Google's specifications. They start manufacturing them. Tons of them. And that's not even a real big customer for Samsung. When you want to talk about memory and producing a ton of chips, what about Apple? Apple is a customer of Samsung. Apple uses Samsung memory, Samsung parts inside its iPhone. You look at Samsung itself, right? So Samsung makes a lot of their own parts. But the point I was getting at is that these are planned so far in advance. The CPUs that they plan on putting in these devices, the plans go to Samsung. Samsung manufactures them. But then let's say a pandemic hits, and then global sales of phones are way down. Well, Samsung manufactured, I'm just throwing a number out there, let's just say 2.3 million CPUs. Well, if the sales are going down, if nobody's buying phones, that hurts the supply chain, right? It trickles on down to the manufacturing process to where Samsung now just produces them and throws them on the shelf because no phones are being bought, so they don't need to produce more. And we're just now seeing the effects of that a couple years later, right? Because when was the pandemic? I think it was in March 2020 is when it was official. And then when did it, I don't know when it did not become an issue. I don't know, a year ago or something? It was kind of when people started getting back out into normal activity. So you're talking a good 3 years. And we're just now starting to see the effects it had on these big companies such as Samsung. And the big turnaround they're having right now is due to manufacturing good products. But it's also due to getting back to normal business, right? People are starting to upgrade their phones more. Samsung got record sales on this S24 series. iPhone, they sell a gazillion every year. So those sales are back. Smartphone sales in general are back, and that's good for Samsung. I guarantee you, whatever phone you have, I don't care who it's from, who made it, where you bought it from, where it's manufactured. Guarantee you, it has at least one Samsung part. Whether it's a cable, whether it's a Wi-Fi antenna, whether it's memory, whether it's a chip, it's going to have a Samsung part in there. And getting back to just normal business, they were down that much that just getting back to normal business would spark a big rise in operating profits. And then you throw on top phenomenal sales on some of their additional products, and it just skyrockets from there. So good news for Samsung, good news for the mobile industry, right? Apple, I'm sure they're getting back to normal. They sold a gazillion iPhone 15s. I'm sure their 16 will be the same. Nothing is seeing good sales on their devices. So we're getting back to normal. And look, these things, when these huge, monumental, worldwide issues affect everybody. Not just me, you. It affects Samsung. It affects Apple. It affects Ford, right? And Teslas and everything, even toilet paper companies. See what I'm saying? So we're just now starting to get back into normal operating as a society, which means back to basically normal purchasing habits, and businesses are starting to get back. It does take a year or two to kind of get back into the swing of things. So this is just a perfect example. Sorry, I should have had my article up there, but yeah. let's see. Did you get it? It says it's by Samsung. Huh. Yeah. If you want to take a screenshot of that, or in the app description, there should be a share icon. It looks like a V, or sideways V. It looks like that. If you want to click that, share it, and copy link, and then email it to me, I'll take a look at it for you. I think you should still have my email. If not, it's in the description box below. Everything's in the description box. But if you want to, I'll take a look at it and tell you what I think. If you need to, if it's okay, or if I think it might be malicious or questionable, I'll give you my honest answer. It says this application is used to update the firmware on the device under the description of the app. Very interesting. New subscriber. Awesome, Alan. Thank you very much. Love your content. Am I the only one disappointed in Google's Tensor products? Been itching to press buy on Amazon for our OnePlus Open. Try something new. I've been a user of Pixel since the 2XL. Well, you're in the right place. I'm not sure how much of the show you caught. We've had every Pixel ever made, every Nexus ever made. We are officially hashtag Team Pixel and are members of the Pixel Superfans group, club, whatever you want to call it. So you're in the right place if you love Pixel, but that doesn't mean, well, am I a Pixel fanboy? Yes, but I tell everybody this. I'm also a Samsung fanboy. I'm also a Nothing fanboy. I love phones, right? Especially Android phones. So, but I have a special place in my heart for Pixel. So you're in the right place. But that doesn't mean I overlook stuff. That doesn't mean I don't criticize them, right, for stuff that I think they did wrong. I'm just honest, right? I'm just giving my honest opinion. And that's why I started this YouTube channel, was I felt in the tech world, for one thing, they don't ever live stream, so that's one thing I have up on people on other channels. But also being honest, for CPUs, the one that I got my eye on is not this year's Pixel 9. It's going to have the same similar performance, maybe a slight increase on the G4 Tensor chip over the current G3 Tensor chip. The one thing that is going to be a benchmark year, or a let's take a step back and see what we're dealing with year, is going to be the Pixel 10. I know it's a year away, but here's why. That's the first year Google's contract with Samsung, who we were just talking about, for making and manufacturing their CPU. This Pixel 9 is the very last year. So that means Google is going to, just like Apple, and the Pixel 10, manufacture, design, structure, everything, 100% of the CPU. That's when we're really going to be able to tell kind of what we're dealing with here with Google, because take it for what you will, it is a Tensor Google CPU, but let's be honest, it's a Samsung CPU. It just is. I've in the past broken down the schematics, internal schematics, the everything, how they wire it into the motherboard, everything. It's a Samsung CPU. It's an Exynos CPU. But the Pixel 10 is when they're going to have full control over their, not only the CPU, but their modem, and their GPU and all that stuff. So that's going to be the year, the benchmark year. What you can expect with this Pixel 9, pretty similar to this, just new design. Sure, they'll have slight improvements in performance, CPU performance, GPU performance, but really, is it going to be that big of a deal? No. It's going to be similar to what we got now, but it's going to have flat sides like all these other phones have been going to, right? So, I love the design. I love the way that where they're headed on the design side. I've always thought that's a perfectly designed phone with what the 9 looks like. And if they can just get the CPU, have more control over it, if they can get a really high performing CPU. Because look, I know you're online a lot like I am, right? I'm kind of late to the party, but I kind of just got into Reddit not too long ago. I'm on all the Pixel threads, and they get blasted by everybody, right? iPhone users, Android users, for their poor performance in the CPU department. They got to finally put that to rest. I'm not saying they have to be the very biggest and best high performing CPU, but they got to put something respectable out. But again, you're not going to see it in the 9. It's going to be the 10. It's going to be the 10. At least I hope it's the 10. Yeah, did you have the Panda? Did you have the Panda color? We had the 2XL, the 2. The 2, we had the blue, the kind of the lighter, the kind of the same blue as this. We had that blue 2. And then I had a Panda black and white Pixel 2XL. Our Pixel 2XL had the best battery, not the very best. Battery life on there was incredible. I don't know what's an 8-year-old CPU, how that happened, how that worked out, but you would be happy with that battery life usage today. Thank you for subscribing. I was just going to say, Google sends me promo codes to basically give out to my subscribers, right? If you actually go back, I think in our community post, I put out a community post maybe a week or two ago, where it was a pretty good deal, where it's only for my followers or subscribers, where if you order a phone through them, you get off like $200 or something like that, like a really good deal. Yours, yeah, I had the Panda 3XL. Yeah, 3XL. That was the notch, right? That was the big notch. Yeah. That was the biggest notch of them all. It was a good phone. I had the 3 and the 3XL. I'm trying to think, is there any Pixel I did not, or Nexus I did not have? I don't think so, because even the tablets. Now I do not have the Pixel Fold, right? I don't have that, and I don't have the Pixel tablet. For one thing, I was not happy. I criticized them. The Pixel tablet, it seems like a home management device. It doesn't really seem like a tablet, like an iPad or even a Samsung tablet that you can take with you to like a doctor's appointment while you're in the waiting room. It doesn't even have GPS. So it's not a good decision on their part. But they market it like it's a tablet, but it's really like a home management thing. All right. Where you can manage all your other crap that's on your network. And the Pixel Fold I did not get this year. I was very hesitant. I wanted to do it so bad and just never pulled the trigger, because I'm always wary of the very first device. The very first SKU always seems to have issues. No matter, I'm not just talking about Google and Pixel. I'm talking about Samsung, Apple. You see what they're trying to do with their foldables. They're trying to make one. It's just they can't find one that satisfies them. Always something with a brand new device. So I always typically get the second gen, like the second version. So this year it looks like they're making some huge improvements to the Fold. They're going to change the way it looks, change the way it feels, the dimensions, the outer screen. They're even going to put the brand new CPU, the G4, in there instead of holding it back with the older CPU like they did with the original Pixel Fold. So it looks like we're headed in the right direction. You know, I kind of hold my breath a little bit because I don't know where. I think with the 10, look, with the 9, you get the all new design. It looks great. That's heading in the right direction, design. And then the internals, right? Pixel 9, as I mentioned earlier, slight improvement, but hopefully Pixel 10, they'll be off and running, because they've been developing the CPU, this G5 sensor chip for years in the background. So they want to make sure they get this right once their contract with Samsung is up. So I think they're headed in the right direction, though. So I can't wait to see the smaller Pro version of the Pixel 9. We're going to get the small Pro, and we're going to get the big Pro as well. So we'll get those in and I'm going to try to go to the launch event this year. I got invited last year to go to the launch party. I could not go for whatever reason, but this year I'm going to try to go. So for everybody. Okay, cool. All right, I'll check that. Yeah, let me wrap this up. I got through all of my news articles. If you did see something here, go to eSIMstudios.com. That is our news website that I write on. Yes, I author that and design it and all that good stuff. But appreciate you joining us. Alan, thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you around. We've got all sorts of Android. I live stream every day, 30 minutes to an hour, get the headlines and check everybody's pulse, see how everybody's doing in the tech world. And then I also pre-record and upload content as well, reviews, unboxings, stuff like that. So always got, every day you can expect something coming from our channel. So and honesty, because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of tech channels are just read a script and that's it. Man, we don't read scripts here. So appreciate it. Oh, we also do giveaways. How could I forget? We do a lot of giveaways. And today I just didn't have one. I give away Google Nest router. Look, check this out. A bunch of giveaways. Google Nest Wi-Fi routers. I got a bunch in the closet. We're doing giveaways. What else have we done? Amazon gift cards. Didn't you get one, Bama fan? He won something. So I didn't do one today, but we'll probably do one tomorrow. How about that? We'll do one tomorrow. I kind of threw today's live stream together real quick, but I'll see how we'll do one tomorrow. So stay tuned to the channel. We'll do another giveaway. So I'll update everybody on the community tab. So appreciate it. Take care. Have a good rest of the day. And yeah, you won the gift card. Cool. Yeah, I remember that. I'll check my email right now. So thank y'all very much. And as always, I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.